Among ordinary puppies, there was one special dog. It had a birthmark on its belly, as if destined for a special mission. Unlike the other puppies who were sleeping soundly or causing mischief, this dog was calm and attentive, interested in its owner's face, and quietly staying by its mother's side. Time passed quickly. The 5 puppies grew up, and this dog became even more unusual. One day the owner played games with the puppies. The other 4 were lively, but Little Q acted indifferent at first, only reacting after 2 minutes by clumsily running toward the owner and looking up, as if asking, "What's going on?" This was not just a game, but a test. Because of Little Q's calmness and patience, it was successfully chosen as a guide dog. Little Q was then placed in a cage, marking its first separation from family. After a long journey, it arrived on an island 1,000 kilometers away. It didn't go straight to the guide dog training camp, but was entrusted to a volunteer couple to be cared for and trained during its first year. The trainer told the couple not to scold Little Q, no matter what mistakes it made, so it could build trust with humans. In its new home, Little Q played happily in the beautiful surroundings, sleeping on its back and even snoring sometimes. The foster parents prepared a gift to surprise it, but Little Q woke up just in time and understood when the foster father said, "Keep sleeping." That night, Little Q woke again, slowly approached a small bear, the first gift it had ever received. The next day, while playing with the bear in the yard, Little Q ran into the woods and found a caterpillar crawling on its nose. Scared, it shook its head and never entered the woods again. It spent the happiest days of its life there. One day, the foster parents took Little Q on a long walk. Without understanding why, Little Q was put into a car while the foster parents stayed behind. As they grew farther apart, Little Q felt deep sadness, its second experience of separation. At the guide dog training camp, Little Q initially struggled with temptation during tests, risking failure. When a gunshot sounded, some dogs fled or became overly excited, but Little Q remained calm. Its training began in earnest. Though confused on the first day, the trainer praised it continuously, and Little Q quickly learned to follow commands. The next day, it mastered navigating obstacles, like stairs and street corners, with ease. After training, the trainer told Little Q to stay still for hours. When the trainer returned with another dog, they were surprised to find Little Q patiently waiting. This showed it had the qualities of a guide dog and would soon graduate. The trainer introduced Little Q to a blind man who was stubborn and resisted help. On a walk, Little Q stopped, sensing danger, and held the man back, preventing harm. With Little Q's guidance, the man reached his destination. The man decided to keep Little Q as his guide dog. Sometimes he ignored obstacles, got hurt, and blamed Little Q. But Little Q stayed loyal, wagging his tail to comfort him. Over time, the man softened. They trained hard and graduated together. One night, to celebrate, the man took Little Q to a vending machine. There were 3 machines, and the man chose the wrong one first. Little Q sneezed as a warning, so the man switched and got the right drink. At work, the man proudly showed Little Q to colleagues. When a blind coworker tried calling Little Q, he ran back immediately. That night, heavy rain fell. The man's son, Xiao Ming, came with an umbrella to shield Little Q. Thinking it was play, Little Q bit the umbrella tightly, making noise that woke the father. The father scolded Xiao Ming harshly. Confused and hurt, Little Q ran away. Days later, the old man found Little Q. Though he seemed angry, he was secretly glad. Little Q followed him home. The man choked up touching Little Q and built a shelter so he wouldn't get wet. But soon, the man became ill. Little Q followed him to the bathroom.